Welcome to our tutorial. This video will demonstrate how to manage scenarios in SaVoir Multi-Satellite Swath Planner, concentrating on satellite scenarios specifically. Let's begin. A scenario in SaVoir is a collection of either satellites, areas of interest, or antennas. Here on the Satellites pane at the top left, we have a vast choice of satellite scenarios, all of which with orbits and sensors that can be activated as well. We also have areas of interest scenarios, as you can see here on the Areas pane, where we can view a list of pre-configured areas to which we could also add new areas of interest. There's also an Antennas pane here with yet another list of pre-configured antennas. You could then choose to change scenarios by going on the combo box and selecting others. For instance, I'm now switching back to the Satellites pane, and I'm going to change from the default scenario to, let's say, the DMC one, which is the Disaster Management Constellations. I could also have chosen the SAR satellites, for example, or whichever one that I want to work with from the combo box. We can also create our own scenarios, as I was saying before, and I'm going to do so first by switching to the optical satellites, and then I'm going to create a scenario composed of a few satellites. Let's imagine that we would like to put all of the satellites of the CNES associated in a single group, which we extract from this long list here. So I'm going to select the Pleiad 1A and 1B satellite, and then I'm also going to put the Spot 5, Spot 6, and Spot 7 satellites. And as you can see, when I navigate on my world, I am able to view all of the satellites positioned in their exact location according to their orbits. Let's now make these 5 satellites the CNES configuration. To do this, I am going to delete the satellites on the list which are unselected, so as to get only the ones which are related to my created configuration. So to do this, I'm going to go on Satellites, I'm going to highlight it, right-click with my mouse, and I'm going to say Delete Unselected. At which point, as you can see, I am given the tree with my 5 satellites listed. I am then going to click on the Save As button here, at which point I get a dialog window which asks me to save my file by giving it a name, and I'm going to call it CNES, and then it's going to save it as XML file, and this is in my SaVoir directory. You could obviously choose your own directory. When I click on Save, I'm able to see that on my open tree they are indeed there. I can now switch back to the other scenarios. So let's say I'm going to go back to the DMC, for example, and then I could retrieve my CNES configuration, and here it is. Let's say I now want to add a satellite that I had forgotten to include to this existing list. So I then select my satellite, which here I will do so from the default scenario. So again, switch to default scenario on my combo box. And I'm going to choose Iconos 2. Alright, at this point, I'm just going to right-click once I've highlighted it, right-click with my mouse again, and I'm going to select the copy option. I am then going to go back to my CNES collection here, highlight where it says satellite, and then I am going to give it the paste option this time. At which point, as you can see, Iconos 2 has been added on to my complete list of satellites. The asterisk that we can view here means that I need to still save my work. So I would otherwise risk to lose the configuration, and to do this, I simply click on the Save button here. Or I could even have simply closed SaVoir, at which point it would have reminded me to save any changes that I had made. So that is all on how to manage scenarios in SaVoir. Thank you for your attention.